Welcome friends, I'm Troy and this is Patchwork. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to get right into it, talking about level scaling today, the big change coming to World of Warcraft. If your foot has ever fallen asleep and it's going numb and you're wondering if it's still there, level scaling has nothing to do with that, so don't you worry. Instead, level scaling is all about the game growing with you. It's about monsters scaling with your level so they'll challenge again. Before, we had zones that were about 10 levels, or like 5 to 10 levels within a range or so. So if you were a level 40 character and you went to a level 15 zone, everything in that area would be grayed out. That'd all be level 15 monsters. There'd be no real reason to beat them up. And it's essentially at that point like beating up children, and if you're into that sort of thing, you're a terrible person and I don't want to know you. With level scaling, if you're a level 40 character, you go to that same zone, you're going to see monsters that are level 40 as well. They're going to drop appropriate loot, they're going to give you experience, and there's a reason to visit that zone. Now, Blizzard has kind of carved out each zone with a big leveling range. We're seeing 10 to 60 zones, 20 to 45, 30 to 50, and all kinds of different ranges to keep the progress of the game going, to make it feel like we're increasing in difficulty as we continue along our journey. Kalimdor in the Eastern Kingdoms, 1 to 60. Starting zones, they're keeping it to levels 1 to 20, so a bit of an increase there. Other areas, there's a very wide range, but it's usually about, it can be as much as a 40 level range, it could be as small as 15 or so. Once we hit level 60, we have a choice of either heading to the Outlands or North End. After that, I believe that the other zones already kind of fall into the established leveling ranges already, but I do need to confirm that for myself. What this means for questing though is that it's going to make it a viable, worthwhile experience again, and it's not just going to feel like a chore to hurry up and get to max level. There's now reason to stick around and finish that quest storyline because you're going to be reaping the benefits of it all the way through to the end. And it makes it worthwhile for you to go to different zones that you haven't visited before. I mean, Azeroth is a huge place, and World of Warcraft has so much untapped content that I feel like we just speed through, because in our race to level, that so many things get left out and we're missing a lot of the game because of it. And that's the other big thing about level scaling, is that it brings the focus back to the story. There's now a reason to stick around and finish that quest line, see the story to its completion. Before level scaling, hostages weren't being rescued, monsters weren't being defeated, towns weren't being freed, resources weren't being gathered. But with level scaling, we're going to rescue those hostages, we're going to defeat those monsters, we're going to paint buildings, we're going to clean the streets, we're going to get drugs off the streets. We're going to be heroes again, and it's really exciting. It also means that party play and group dynamics are going to change drastically. Because not only does it scale to your level, it scales specifically to you. It means that if you, a level 25 priest, are playing with a level 50 warrior, and you approach an enemy, that enemy is going to be level 20 for you. It's going to give you appropriate loot and experience, and it's going to be a great time. That warrior, that same enemy, the same one that you are both facing the exact same time, is a level 50 to him. There's a level 50 enemy that will drop level 50 gear and give him an appropriate amount of experience. I can't tell you how many times in the past Me and my friends have tried to coordinate group play and level together cohesively, but what would inevitably happen was that one person would get too far ahead, one person would fall behind, one person wouldn't want to play, or only two people want to play, or one person couldn't, and it would just eventually all fall apart. Now, if you're 20 levels ahead of your friend or 25 levels behind, it doesn't really matter because your gaming experience is tailored and specific to you, and I can't express what an awesome concept this is. It's going to make group play a really exciting time, and it's going to make playing with your friends a lot easier, and really that's kind of what an MMORPG is all about, is being able to play with your friends. Now, level scaling is going to mean that combat is essentially changing. It's going to become a little bit more methodical. We have to be more aware of our surroundings. We have to essentially act as tacticians in the face of these challenges. We can no longer run around, pop shadow word pain on 20 different enemies and run around until their life slowly drains out. The whole idea of needing to plan and coordinate your strategies is even more relevant in group play, so that's going to reintroduce concepts of communication, improvisation, making sure we're all on the same page, not aggroing a boss while we're waiting for another person's mana to replenish, all kinds of things. Could also mean the return and viability of things like first aid or even cooking, because as battles get longer, food might become an essential component of dungeons and raids again. Now, I'm not going to pretend that level scaling is perfect. There's obviously some things that Blizzard needs to work out, such as how do loot drops work? Can they scale loot appropriately to not only fit this whole concept of level scaling, but to fit the feel of progression in the game? The other problem I foresee is with collecting materials, especially for enchanters who relied on being able to go through old, lower level dungeons and collect greens and disenchant them for the materials that they needed. But, if you think about it, professions is a system that really could use a change. So I'm hoping that Blizzard, instead of trying to fit a square block into a circular hole, they adapt the profession system to better fit how level scaling is going to work. Yeah. While level scaling does open up old zones to players, if I'm a level 110 character, I'm still not really able to go back to Kalimdor or even North End or Outland zones and reap any benefit from it. So if I skipped over a section of content because I passed it by my first level through, I can't go back. I mean, I'm level 110, and these zones, while they're scaling quite massively, they're only scaling to about level 60 in Kalimdor and about level 80 in North End and the Outlands. So I'm hoping that Blizzard addresses that in some way. And there's really no telling how far-reaching this change is going to be, because it is a huge change. Believe me when I tell you that this is going to change World of Warcraft drastically. It is not going to be the same game we've seen for the past 7 years or so. I'm hoping that we as players adapt to this change in a positive way, and we can make it a great experience for new and returning players. And I'm just really excited about level scaling. It's going to change the game in huge ways. I can't even begin to predict what effects this change is going to have in the future, and I hope you all take that journey with me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. If you're looking forward to more awesome World of Warcraft content and streams, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of new videos. Speaking of streams, I will start live streaming on January 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. I hope to see you there, and it's really exciting.